shall we play a game?
We got Star Wars Unlimited. We got classic Star Wars games. We got old school D&D, independent RPGs, mini painting, Warhammer, of course, tons of other games. But first, we're gonna need some coffee here on Board Barista Productions. Hey everybody, and welcome to Retro Review. I am your Board Barista Fen, and this is a review show where we go through my copious amounts of RPG books, magazines, and other paraphernalia one at a time. And to keep you from rambling, we have Laura.
Hey everybody. So what are we reviewing tonight?
Wyrd Science Issue number 5. And you actually pointed out to me that each of the issues has a subtext title. And you want to...
This subtext is the future imperfect, like the future imperfect tense, but it's feet. And so, yeah, I'm kind of a grammar nerd, so I found that very amusing because I also really like puns.
Yeah.
So, it's clever.
We got it. Vicky making a co-host appearance. So yeah, this is the Autumn-Winter 2023 edition. This is still when they were kind of not hitting that actually coming out every 3 months goal that they're actually making strides for it now. John is working on issue number 4, issue number 8 as we speak.
So is this another one from the Sisters in Christ?
Actually, this issues 1 through 4 I got from Sisters in Christ. These ones I actually got from, went to Wyrd Science online and went to their shop and ordered these right off of the website. You can also order back any back issues they still have in print. You can order, so you can still get issues 1 through 7. You can even subscribe on their website to...
Yeah, so if you're liking what they're ordering or what we're reviewing, you can definitely go support them.
Oh yeah, definitely, cool. Definitely. So the standouts in this issue, we have the Tiny Minotaur Tavern. It's a spotlight on a gaming bar. It's a whole live-action bar experience, kind of like how we went to Faye's Gone Wild. Instead of it being a burlesque show, it's a bar where the people are all in costume, in character. There's little adventures for you to do while you're out at night. They have vendors, so they have like the dark markets that they have around here in New Orleans, where they got different people doing their art.
So wait, this is like a real experience that you can go to? Is this in England? Where is it?
Austin, Texas.
That's not far from
That is not far from here.
Oh, here is another cat. This is Ghosty making an appearance.
Yeah. So yeah, they do vendors, they have game nights, they have workshops, they have LARP adventures, so you can do live action.
Ghosty!
Play. The cats are just going crazy tonight. I guess they're all here and we're planning on going to Austin. Afraid that they're not going to get any food. The next article that stood out to me was the Tabletop Game Designers Association. It's a guild for game designers that started in 2023, and they do like workshops, seminars, and stuff like that, online and in person. But it's all for people who are designing board games, RPGs, stuff like that. And it's really something I'm thinking about getting a membership to.
Yeah, you should.
Because I'm working on my own game. Join us on, so become a Patreon on Patreon, link down below, and you can get access to the beta test. Next article that stood out to me was My First Dungeon. It's an RPG live stream which focuses on indie RPGs. Thinking once I do get some testing done for Flip, a bit more polished version of the rulebook, to reach out to some of these live streamers for collaborations.
Ghosty, come on now.
Then there is, hey bud, the RPG Zine Club. It's a monthly subscription of 1 or 2 zine games, and they work with, again, like this is all like indie designer focus a lot in this issue. They work with indie designers. If I had the cash, I would subscribe to this. And maybe if I did subscribe to that kind of thing and I was getting those a lot more, I was thinking to kind of like refocus on just RPGs and tabletop games for this channel, and maybe branch off the Star Wars Unlimited stuff into his own channel, like the Magic the Gathering channel that I started a couple months ago.
Okay, that's
a lot of self promotion right there. Moving on. But no, the RPG Zine Club, it's a really cool thing where it's like, you know, it's like a lot of the other subscription stuff I've subscribed to over the years, like Loot Crate and stuff like that, where it's just like, hey, here's some stuff that you might like, be interested in it. Every month, get some random new stuff, get exposed to new stuff. That's why I like subscription services, in order to get stuff that I wouldn't normally like go buy myself or have even heard about. So
yeah.
Next article is Worlds Beyond Time. This is an art book by Adam Rowe collecting vintage 70s sci-fi art, which is something I am a big fan of. I have a Frank Frazetta art book. He did a lot of the 1950s covers for like Edgar Rice Burroughs books, the Barsoon series, and a few other like big name sci-fi books back in the day. But this one, you know, being that vintage 70s sci-fi, I'm like, ooh, with the psychedelic colors and stuff like that. I'm like, that totally is something I would like to get for the art book collection. So the next one it's I didn't write the actual name of the article. I just wrote a question for you.
What?
Can I order like a 3.5 foot tall lamp that's made of D&D dice? Like it's a stack of D&D dice that lights up.
Let's talk about where we would put it first. And maybe it's something for when you have like a dedicated
That is
room.
actually what I kind of put down here in the notes. So Works of Whimsy has them for sale. So if you have a dedicated nerd space, gaming room, and want something like a 3.5 foot tower of dice, that's just like you stack your 7 D&D dice on top of each other, and they light up. That's something to talk about. Again, Works of Whimsy. You can search for them online, and yeah, I'll probably get one of those when we have more space. Mm-hmm. Maybe a garage that can take all the nerd stuff out too. And
that sounds good.
So this is the next article is the article that the issue is entitled after, The Future Imperfect. Mm-hmm. It's a look at the evolution of sci-fi RPGs into grimdark settings instead of the golden age space operas. So you get more of the gritty stuff that was more inspired by the stuff that became like Warhammer 40k, where it's constant war, and you got like the aliens and Blade Runner, all those really dark, gritty sci-fi futures.
Yeah. Instead
of like the Star Wars and Star Trek, like we're going to adventure across space and have grand, fun adventures. Yeah, everybody became like, nobody's a hero and nobody's really a villain. Everything's dark and gritty and real. Instead of being like, there are good guys, bad guys. To quote Douglas Adams, the space opera age of science fiction was when men were men, women were women, and little fuzzy things from Alpha Centauri really were little fuzzy things from Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, those good old days.
Yeah. So they talked in this article, 83 to 87, the Rogue Trader starts Warhammer 40k rolling. Originally Warhammer 40k was all mismatch, crazy stuff going on until it really settled into that grimdark. 84 to 91 is when we got our big giant robots with Battletech, Mech Warrior, and Traveler. Even the Traveler RPG started having their big intergalactic war. Mm-hmm. Then we start getting into the gritty part, where we get Judge Dredd start in 84 to 83. You got Judge Dredd with the grimdark future of policing. You got the Paranoid game, which we talked about in a Dragon Magazine review. I know you don't remember it, but it was a game where basically, in order to keep the people of the megacity entertained, the computer that runs the megacity would just create random crazy problems. And it was like, to just like scare the people that lived there to keep them on edge so they didn't get like too, oh, life is just too easy and we're just going to sit here and enjoy it and get fat and lazy. But it's like, no, we need to keep the humans rattled so they're on edge and active. And then you get like the mega corporations, the rise of fascism, authoritarianism, militarization of the police, all that stuff that's happening in those kind of settings. Then 88 to 97, we get the cyberpunk, hackers, again, more mega corporations, or like Walmart is basically controlling half the country kind of thing. Plus you also start getting people like getting cybernetic body upgrades and stuff like that in sci-fi. 91 to 99, we get a return to space opera, but in the setting of social collapse, with neglect and despair, people are scavenging wastelands for junk. Again, that's kind of that time when in pop culture, Star Wars was coming back into the mainstream during that time period, 91 to 99. Firefly was coming out, so you had these whole things of like these lived-in sci-fi universes where things are kind of broken down and the government's not really to be trusted.
Yeah.
And the last age category they talked about with sci-fi is gaming is 2000 to now, where we get the self-publishing and the open game license boom, where sci-fi genre was aligned for both a return of the bright futures and the dark dystopias. One of my favorite games that came out, we reviewed it on the show in the past, came out of the open game license was the Mechamorpheus, where somebody actually made a Transformers, non-copyright infringing Transformers RPG. And you had Doctor Who, Farscape, Firefly, all these different space operas were getting their own RPGs and really coming back into the scene.
There's a Fireflies.
There's a Firefly RPG.
We should look for that.
We can.
You don't like it?
Everything that you could do in a Firefly type of campaign, you could do in a Star Wars campaign.
Except it's with Firefly.
But you just kind of focus on that element, the smugglers, the fringe people. You don't focus on the Empire and the Jedi and the Rebellion. You just kind of you don't need to have an official Firefly RPG to play it for. I don't need an official Firefly RPG to play an Firefly-esque RPG.
But
I can even do that stuff with
the Serenity.
We can name the ship Serenity, okay? I'm pretty sure Josh and Tanya would totally be into playing a Space Cowboy Serenity-inspired RPG, which I think is actually the whole plan for like the Season 2 of Spandex Squadron. When we get back to doing it, it's going to be kind of... That's what everybody was saying they wanted to kind of do, so that's where it's going.
That's kind of cool.
The next article was talking about Barkeep on the Borderlands. It's a play on the Keep on the Borderlands adventure. It was one of the first 5 adventures ever published for D&D. Where it's actually a D&D pub crawl adventure. Yes, the Monarch...
So you actually like...
Yeah, hang on. Let me...
Okay.
I copied some stuff from the... Yes, the Monarch has been poisoned and you have to do a pub crawl to find a cure that got lost at a bar in the city. 20 different bars, each with tables for random encounters and signature drinks. You can either do the campaign or use the bars in your own adventures. Yes, it is basically you're going through 20 different bars in a city trying to find the cure to...
It'd be so... Like... If there was a bunch of people, and of course we had a babysitter.
Yeah.
Like to actually do that in New Orleans.
That would actually be kind of cool to do. Like we're gonna go
like
out.
A live version.
We're gonna do a live action version of Barkeep on the Borderlands. That would be an amazing adventure because we could easily walk around the city in a day and hit 20 bars just in our neighborhood.
Maybe not quite in our neighborhood,
Oh, you
but
can hit
within walking
within
distance.
walking distance. We can get 20 bars in walking distance.
Yeah, so hint if anyone actually wants to come down and do this, that could be really fun.
Oh yeah. Next article that popped out to me was the Rogue Trader action figures. So a former GW employee is making Warhammer 40k
Wait, which GW?
Games Workshop.
Right.
The people who make Warhammer 40k. They're making Warhammer 40k. Like they took the first and second edition miniatures, and they scaled them up, made articulations so they're actually like the size of like G.I. Joe action figures, like 3.5 inches. And I thought that was really cool. Not so much because I'm a fan of the old sculpts. I'm a fan of the old artwork from Rogue Trader and second edition Warhammer 40k. Because it's really that punkish black and white 70s, 80s RPG art that is just so amazing. But what I found really cool about this is I used to collect the Wizards magazines for comic book collecting. It's actually how I found out about Magic the Gathering, which led me to the Star Wars CCG, which led me to the Star Wars role-playing game, to D&D, and started the whole path.
Yeah.
It was because I was a comic book nerd. And in the comic book nerd magazine, people would take their action figures and they would build dioramas and they'd take photos of them. They have like huge big scenes, and they also like people would show their kit bashed action figures where they took all the tools and techniques that you do for miniature painting to kit bash, custom minis, and they make custom action figures. And I was like, that's so cool, I want to do that. But I never had the money to like buy an action figure just to chop it up and add like milliput to it and then paint it. So
Well, you could do it now.
I could do it now, but now I'd much rather do it with just the minis and not have like, because they're tiny. Like a 3.5 inch action figure, I you know how I need another room just so I can have the lamp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to have another room.
Or just a really big, like if you had
Like a 2-3 bed garage that I just,
or like an entire basement.
an entire basement. Yeah. Speaking of Paranoia RPG got a 40th anniversary edition release. So I might just be buying a copy of Paranoia because it got a new version released like 2 years ago.
So like Paranoia is like as old as we are, basically.
It came out in 83.
So it's right between us.
So it's like a year younger than me. I'm 2 years older than you. Yeah, so this is, like I was saying earlier, this is the original sci-fi death trap game. You actually have 5 spare clones of your character on hand. So if your character dies, they just like take the chip out of your brain, plug it into your clone, and you just keep playing.
Like Altered Carbon.
Like Altered Carbon. Oh yeah, it's, and it's the whole, like in Paranoia, the job of the DM is just to be like, I'm going to mess with the players as much as I can. They've got 5 backup characters. I can kill characters left, right. I can kill players left, right, and sideways.
I mean, that does fit with the name of the game, right?
Oh yeah,
Keep
because
people paranoid. Yeah.
And it's just, and the humor in this is just dripping with like cartoon violence and puns. It is just completely like, it's like if Red Dwarf was a horror movie, almost. Because in that, the crazy computer goes senile to keep the last human left alive from going bored because he's the last human left alive. Red Dwarf is amazing.
Wait, you said he goes senile?
Yeah, they're 4 million years into deep space. And the computer's been running for that long. And the only actual service technician was in cryogenic frozen stasis
Right.
So nobody was defragging the hard drive.
Okay, we're talking about the magazine.
We're talking about the magazine here. Don't worry, we only got like 4 articles left to do. Border Riding. So this is a game that was created by Joe Reed and is based on the Scottish Borders region's common ridings. So think Scottish games but more horses as you march around the edge of town. Can be a solo game or a group game where you fill in the map of a town community. You develop its histories and rituals, and play out conflicts with those that are the others on the edge of the map. Now, I feel this is a perfect game to pick up for some like world building sessions, because you just kind of like, okay, I need to design a town, and I'm going to play this game, and then
Get the others on the edge of the map so that like
well,
there be monsters.
Well, it's kind of like remember Ray Rice, our college professor that we had for English, in his Shakespearean and philosophy courses, he always talked about the other.
Yeah, the others, there be monsters.
Yes. So it's the whole thing of like the people who aren't of our community, so you have those conflicts with those. So you're playing out and you're developing the traditions and mapping out this little community, and also establishing what the bordering communities are.
Where there be monsters.
Yeah, and that's a great little like solo RPG that you can play to build your world while your players are like trudging across the hex crawl of the map to get to this little area.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And a lot of these games that are standing out to me in the magazine, not just are they ones that I know that click for both of us, like the Campfire game and a bunch of some of the other ones we've talked about, but there's also some games that they showcase that are really good for homeschooling. The next one is called Votes for Women. So it's a game for 2 players where you play out the passing or rejection of the 19th Amendment to let women vote in the United States. But it's a board game.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, there's like some... Because I've always been of the opinion that games are educational. Magic taught me a lot of really crazy, bizarre words that I wouldn't have been exposed to unless, the arcane thesaurus that is the names of cards in Magic the Gathering was just... My vocabulary in high school was like verbose. But
Verbose is a great word.
oh yeah. So no, I definitely want to get more games that are fun for Sylvie to play when she's older, but also some stuff that's going to have some educational.
Like the Oregon Trail.
Like the Oregon Trail, which we actually own as a card game.
Yeah.
Next to last article that stood out to me was Majestic 13. It's wonderful how in the early days of this magazine, they were taking such a huge gap in between the releases that we actually get to see like the whole Uncle Adam and Vince V, Badger Studios, their whole like release wave, because this magazine came out when they released their game Majestic 13. That's the third miniature skirmish game that they've created, where basically you had a group of investigators and you hunt down aliens that have invaded the Earth. You can play it solo or you can play it co-op, or in a narrative mode, which is the focus of the game, is the narrative mode, where you're basically doing this mission and then it goes to this mission until you get to the final one.
Okay.
But you can do versus modes, kind of like training missions, where it's like 2 different objective groups battling against each other, but also trying to be the ones to capture the monster.
Right.
And the last thing that stood out to me was not an article. It was a 1-page ad for an RPG called Cosmosaurs. You play Dinosaur Space Ranger fighting evil aliens. That is all. Enjoy. So funny. So campy. So 80s B-movie. I was like...
So a dinosaur...
Like a dinosaur with like a spacesuit and a ray gun.
So the dinosaur is the alien hunter, basically.
Is the alien hunter. You're going out and stopping crimes.
As a dinosaur.
As a dinosaur space ranger. I could see a dinosaur space ranger like this RPG would be a cartoon that the hookahs would watch, and then the hookahs would be like, I'm a Tyrannosaurus! I gotta go. Like, the teddy bear would want to pretend to be the T-Rex fighting, like, the evil mad scientist.
Okay, the hookah, like that book series could be a review show on its own.
It could be a review show on its own.
If you haven't read it, it's called The Sound and the Furry by Paul Anderson and what's the other?
Dixon. I cannot remember Dixon's first name, but it's, The Sound and the Fury by Anderson and Dixon. It is an amazing collection of short stories, but
super sweet.
And if you like the movie Ted or any of those like teddy bear come to life kind of stories.
But seriously, that's a whole nother review show.
It's a whole nother review show. But that is Wyrd Science number 5. Right there.
So yeah, takeaways. We need to go to Austin if you want to come to New Orleans and go buy The Sound and the Fury.
So we gotta go Austin. You gotta go Austin to do a live action RPG bar experience.
Yeah.
Then after we do that, we gotta get some friends to come down so we can do our own live action role playing bar crawl experience.
Yeah.
Alright. And yeah, go find some crazy, stupid, fun games to play. Wyrd Science is got your back. It's going to have some stuff that you've never heard of before. I would say definitely subscribe and or at least get a few issues just to check them out. And if you don't subscribe, but if you gotta get the magazines, because just liking and subscribing to different channels on YouTube, you're just gonna get into the echo chamber that those channels all are related to each other. You need to branch out into the bigger community, and that's where these zines, these fanzines really help get you exposed to different stuff. So that's why I'm going to continue to review Wyrd Science. And until next time, I'm it. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
I'm it. I'm out.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.